What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 16 of Figureoutable. Today's episode is all about comfort. The title specifically is Comfort is a Terrible Teacher. And it's a deep subject. I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but what I wanted to talk to you guys about is the concept that we are going through life chasing certain things. Some of us on the more extreme end are chasing discomfort, chasing discipline, chasing growth. That's never going to be comfortable. And some of us are just trying to survive. The majority of our lives is pretty uncomfortable. If you think about it, I've mentioned this in many episodes before, that our jobs usually don't bring us fulfillment. Our relationships aren't that strong. Our personal choices and habits that we do don't cultivate who we are as people. And we find ourselves chasing comfort or the couch of life. It's really going to be all about that today. The couch of life is what I mean when you get off of work and you rush home in rush hour traffic thinking about the weed that you're going to smoke or the beers you're going to drink or the video games you're going to play. It's not going to teach you good things. I say it's a terrible teacher, not in the way that comfort doesn't teach you anything. It just teaches you all of the wrong things. And there are things you should do in your life that do bring you comfort. As an example, financial security is a great way to provide comfort to yourself and a peace of mind. But you don't get financial comfort or financial independence by making choices financially that bring you comfort on a day-to-day basis. Ordering Uber Eats every single day means you're not going to save any money. You're going to spend too much on food. So it's a great example of how choosing the comfortable path brings you long-term discomfort. And that's really what it's all about. If you decide that exercise really isn't your thing, that might be comfortable now, but when you're 45 years old and your knees hurt and your back hurts, you will be in chronic discomfort for the remainder of your days. It's about making the choice today that ends up in a brighter tomorrow. In my job, I deal with the essence of what it means to make the comfortable choices every day. I've got a sales team. The sales team here is expected to make 60 calls a day. It's not easy to make those calls. You get rejection on a day-to-day basis. People hang up on you. You find that certain people you do talk to don't have the same values as you, so your product's not going to work there. It's rejection and it's dejection and it's frustration. If you choose the path of discomfort, you can have more sales. If you have more sales, you make more money. And if you're smart with your money, you're good at keeping it, not just getting it, you give yourself financial freedom. Financial freedom is a form of comfort and allows you to have a brighter future. So it's here, it's now, it's in everything that we do. Comfort feels safe, but it quietly keeps you small. And you're going to have many years under your belt in life where you chased comfort that's going to result in unfulfilled dreams. And I wish I would have done things differently. That's a bad spot to be in. The good news is if you're watching this video right now and tomorrow you decide to wake up and make some positive changes and live a little bit in discomfort, you can get it done. You can turn your life around. You can fix things. I always used to say this phrase that I probably got off of a podcast, that either you pick your difficult or difficult picks you. And I would rather be in the business of lifting heavy weights of life so that when the heavy weights land on me, I'm accustomed to carrying them. What is comfort teaching you? In essence, it's teaching you to avoid your problems. I want to quit smoking. You think about that all the time. You carry it with you every day. You decide not to do anything about it, and you decide to smoke. And as you're smoking, you're comfortable. But as you avoid the change in your life that you need to make, there's another emotion that comes along with it. And it's shame. Shame is only going to be useful if you use it as fire in the furnace to make the changes you need. Beyond that, it's self-deprecation. You're just beating yourself up. You're getting nowhere with it. When you're chasing that comfort, the signal of discomfort that you need to change goes away, and you're making it go away. Remember, we've talked about anxiety. We've talked about depression a little bit. Again, I'm not a trained psychoanalyst, but what I can tell you guys is that if you have anxiety and depression, it's actually a sign of health. If you listen to yourself, you probably have a number of things about your life that you need to change, and your brain is letting you know that you got to make those changes. So I think that instead of looking at anxiety as an imbalance in your brain, it's an imbalance in your choices. Obviously, if you have a clinical situation that requires medication, that's a whole nother kit and caboodle, but the vast majority of us get anxiety for a good reason. When you have the discomfort in your life reminding you of a needed change and you seek comfort, you're basically training yourself to say that I'm not capable of handling this. Every time there's discomfort, I run to the couch. Every time there's discomfort, I avoid the conversation. You're actually training your brain to say you're incapable of handling tough situations. But if you prove to yourself that you can keep your word, every time you make a commitment to yourself, I firmly believe that you will retrain your brain into saying, I can do this and I can handle it. So a key line for you guys to think about is that whatever you soothe too quickly, you'll never adapt to. Being uncomfortable isn't the enemy, it's the instructor. There is a famous podcaster, Andrew Huberman, he talks about and I'm going to botch this, the neo-singular, mid-singular cortex, whatever. It's a part of the brain that gets bigger and develops more as you do uncomfortable stuff. In relation to my life, because I've been working out for 15 years, I can tell you that part of my brain doesn't grow anymore because my exercise isn't a function of discipline, it's just a function of habit because I've been doing it for so long. Choosing to do difficult things grows your brain, it slows the likelihood of dementia, it ends up in you having a better life and a higher pain tolerance for the crappy stuff that's going to come your way. So choosing discomfort now, every single day, whether it's waking up when your alarm clock goes off, or whether it's going for a walk with the dogs even though it's cold outside, or going in that cold plunge, hitting the gym when you don't feel like it, whatever that is, if you train your body and your brain into doing the things that suck when you don't feel like doing them, life will be easier because you're getting better. Feeling flat, stressed, or unfulfilled is a part of life. Even those of us that are out there chasing challenge and difficulty, there's times where we plateau and we create too much of a routine for ourselves. It's extremely important that you guys understand that time's only going to pass by faster the more you double down on your routines. And your routines become comfortable, even if what you're doing on a routinely basis is uncomfortable. So, great example, Saturday, Sunday, I do my meal prep. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I work out. That's my routine. It's not uncomfortable anymore because it's a habit. So it's up to me to find new things that challenge me, new accomplishments, new difficulties that I choose in my life to make sure that I have unique enough experiences that my weeks don't transfer by in a blur, because that's how most of them fly by. As I get older, all I realize is that, oh my God, it's already the end of January, and in a couple of months, it'll be the end of April, and then before I know it, we're stepping into 2027. Have I accomplished everything I want to, and have I had enough meaningful memories? That's up to me. That's up to you. A little phrase here that I was journaling on. Discomfort teaches you how much you can carry. Comfort just sets it down for you. If you're a guy watching this right now, remember when you were a little kid and you saw that dude on the television screen, you thought he was the strongest guy in the world, you wanted to be just like him? Why don't you view challenge in your life the same way? You do want to figure out how much you can carry. And you do want to create stronger muscles of the mind and the body. So chasing that discomfort is where it's at. And if you keep on choosing the comfortable route, you're just putting the problems down for a later date. They'll get bigger, they'll get dustier, and they'll grow mold. They'll develop a personality and become a demon instead of a monkey. Kill your comfort as a monkey, not a demon. Speaking on the subject of shame, which is a part of every one of us, I can tell you, you're not ashamed because you're weak. You're ashamed usually because of the avoidance and knowing that you're capable of more. So to segue into that real quick, I brought these horns here to let you know who you're dealing with. What I do in my day job is I sell botanical supplements that are known to be habit forming and extremely taboo in the media, and on the headlines you can tell that the people who operate in my industry are the worst of the worst. I personally feel quite passionate about what I do, and in particular there is a product that has touched our industry called 7-OH. For those of you guys watching this, if you're familiar with it, it is the most potent alkaloid found in our botanical products, but it's an isolated version of that. It has a very short half-life. People have built horrible addictions to it. And right now I spend a lot of my time talking to strangers about their struggles with addiction. I make it very clear that what I sell is also habit forming, but it might be a lesser option for people. And I also let them know that I'm not quite qualified to give them this type of advice. But one of the biggest concepts at hand with these people struggling with addiction is that they chased comfort. This product gave them a buzz, it gave them a high, and it made them feel comfortable, and they loved it. Unfortunately, in a world that's otherwise painful because you have a shitty job or bad relationships, bad life habits, when you take something that makes you feel great, you want more of it. It's pretty natural, and it's really nothing to be ashamed of. But where the shame creeps in the school teachers and the moms and the dads that I talk to that are hiding this addiction from their family, is the fact that they know they're capable of more and they know that they're better than this. And every day they choose to do the same thing out of comfort or addiction or fear of going through withdrawal. They're choosing a path that they know does not put them in a better place. I do my best to try and educate and talk these people through it, let them know that they're not alone, that they can get through it. And if I'm talking to you guys right now over this side of this camera and you have experience with what I'm talking about, you're welcome to reach out. But if you have experience with another substance that I'm talking about, you're still welcome to reach out, and the same principles apply. The reason why people choose substance abuse is because life is painful and they choose something that temporarily makes them feel good. That is a story as old as time. Ancient tribes of people fermented beverages to get a buzz. We've been doing this as long as we've been alive. We've always chased a high. So the question is, if you're chasing one right now, are you chasing one because you're running away from something, or are you chasing one because you want a novel good time and it's a rare moment for you? And they're very different situations. So the goal for you guys to bring yourself back from a place of overly choosing comfort is to rebuild self-trust. It's to rebuild some agency in yourself, to know that you can, when in a dark place, get yourself through it. And it starts with, in my opinion, the small stuff. If you're in a decent place, if you're in a really dark place and you have some pretty big demons to wrestle, sometimes it starts off by picking the biggest demon and knocking it down first. Building trust with yourself is where you're going to feel like you're on top of the world. I can tell you guys right now, I'm riding high on life. I've been waking up with no snooze button every day, walking the dogs first thing in the morning, whether it's cold or not, on the keto diet for 4 weeks. I've been making 60 outbound sales calls a day on top of doing a million other things. And I feel like I'm on fire right now because I'm doing these uncomfortable things and I'm keeping a commitment to myself. That's the key. Build the self-trust. Build yourself back up. Either pick the small stuff or pick the biggest frog first, but you've got to step in the right direction and tackle the stuff that makes you uncomfortable, because that's where the life is. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them below. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.